Okay, yeah. So we are ready with this pump. Okay, I want to show you guys how this pump. So I need to tilt my camera a bit. Okay, just a minute. I'll keep my camera tilted a bit. Okay, keep it tilted. I'm taking some support. Okay, I think this is good enough tilt. Okay, you can see the pump. Okay, good. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just pull this up and down. Let us see what happens. Do you see the water filling up in the syringe?
Yes.
Okay, so once it comes up to this point, that's when it will basically come out of this. Okay. So even in the borewell, this is what happens. First, the water fills up inside the tube. So once it fills inside the tube, then it basically starts flowing out continuously. Okay. You can see now the water has filled up. Okay. So now you will see that the water will start coming out from this tube here. Okay, now the tube is almost filled with water. Okay, I'm just waiting for the water to come out. Okay, so this simple thing, but now the question is, why is the water filling up in the tube? It can just go down, right? I pull the plunger up. You know how the injection works, right? The syringe works. You suck something, you press you press back the plunger. What happens? The water should go out, but the water is remaining inside the remaining inside the tube. Why is that happening? Any idea why that is happening? See here. So now you can see the water flowing. Do you see the water coming out? Just one. I'll pump some more water.
Yes, sir.
You see the water coming out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just staying there. Okay. Do you see the water coming out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is exactly how the pump works, but I have few questions. I asked you guys a question of why the water is staying inside. The water can just go back, right? When I push the plunger down, the water can just go back, go down. Why is it not
Sir,
going down?
sir, is there
Yeah.
any holes in that spoke and that plug or whatever you have fixed? There is there any holes in that?
No, there is no hole in that. There's no hole in that. Okay, see, you can just think, don't think about why the water has come above this, but you can think of why the water is staying below this. Because below this, when I push it down, the water should basically go down, right? It should just push it down, right? The water should go down, go back to the cup. But that is not happening.
Because of water pressure.
Water pressure, okay, sort of, but yeah, we need to still go deep. Actually, children, there is something called as a non-return valve. Non-return valve, which we call it as NRV. Okay, NRV is non-return valve. Okay, fine. So what this NRV does is NRV. Sorry.
One side, it is like an one side valve, no, sir?
Exactly. So the NRV, what it does it just allows something to flow only on one side, but it does not allow it to flow on the other side. Okay. If you carefully see, see there. Do you see there is a small ball inside it? Do you see?
Sir, in
At
that
the bottom.
cycle spokes.
No, not the cycle spoke. Below, at the tip of this,
Yes, sir.
there is a ball.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see that ball?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that ball, what that ball is doing is that ball acts as the NRV. When I open this, you see that the ball comes up. Okay, when I press the plunger, what happens? The ball goes and blocks that hole. When I pull this, the ball allows the water to come in. See, it shakes and comes in. The water comes in. When I push it back, it goes and blocks the hole. So then the water stays inside. It doesn't go back. Okay, so that's what we are using, that small ball to work as a non-return valve for us. Okay, that's what is making the water to like come up, but don't go down. Okay, so this is an NRV is a very important thing for the pump. So any water pump would have a non-return valve which will not allow the water to go back. Okay, so fine. So now tell me, like, is this a simple one which you can do at home?
Yes, sir. But sir, in the actual pump, sir, is there also in our like this steel ball mechanism or something else?
Yeah, there we might not have a little ball. Here we are using it, but the concept is NRB. There might you might have something, some what leather stuff, a leather kind of thing which will allow, or some weight. Basically, NRB is basically weight. Okay, so maybe it will have some other weight, not a ball, but a some other weight which can basically block when the water is trying to go on the other side.
Sir, I read about something like this. There is a pipe, sir, and then there is
Ah,
an area. There is a ring added, so that diameter of the ring is slightly less than the diameter of the pipe. And at the
yeah,
ring, there is an attached season like cover, and when water goes here, it opens and lets the water pass. But when water is
yes.
coming from the other side, it closes and does not let the water pass. So is that
Exactly,
that thing?
simple. That's what. There are various types of NRVs. Okay, NRVs could be done with like several stuffs. Okay, so what you said is also correct. That when there's some kind of rubber or a pipe, so where it allows the water to flow in one direction, when it comes from the other direction, it just blocks it. Okay, so that's what the water pump does actually. But beyond that, children, like what we have to think about is the water scarcity that we might get in days to come, because now that, as I said, till the hand pump was there, till such setup was existing, it was fine that we were using only so much of water that was required. But now what has happened is, because we get water, like we need to either just turn on the tap or just turn on the switch, we get water. So it has become very easy. So we have started consuming a lot of water. So for that, important thing, see, it's nothing wrong to consume water. Okay, we all speak about saving water, but more than saving water, we should also think about how we can like build the what water capacity under the ground. Okay, for us, the only source of water, the main source of water is rain. Okay, we have to work towards like getting, like having more and more trees so that we get more and more rain. Okay, that's the only way. There's nothing wrong in like what using water. Okay, one thing, we should not overuse it unnecessarily. We should not keep the tap open and all those stuff. Those are wrong. But still, there is nothing wrong in using it for our purpose. But at the same time, we should also think how we can get back that water. Okay, for that, it's pretty easy, that we all should like start growing trees, and trees are the only thing that can get us rainfall. Okay, in the forest and all, like almost 6 months there is rainy season. 6 7 months there's continuous rain happening, just
Yes,
because
sir, because of
there's a
the
lot of trees.
transpiration.
Yeah.
Transpiration. Sir, but
Yes,
sir,
Surya Pratap.
sir, in that you the setup you made, sir, how did
Yeah.
the water go above that cycle spoke rubber
No,
thing?
no. What happens is, above. See, basically, you can see that you have this rubber thing, right? See, when the
Yes,
water
sir.
comes up because of pressure itself, now the water just comes above the rubber. Okay, it comes
Yes,
on its own. It makes spaces because of pressure. It creates its own space to come up. Okay.
yes, sir. So
Yeah.
that's why they use the rubber, so it is
Yeah.
flexible.
Exactly. That's why you use the rubber. Yeah. Because if you are using something else, then we might have to keep one NRV here as well. Basically, for water pump, we require two NRVs, two non-return valves. Okay, so if you guys are joining
Yes,
next class next Sunday, I have an motor. I have the same pump, which is motorized. Okay, so I can show you that as well. If you guys join next Sunday's class. Today actually I did not bring it. I came outside, so I could not bring it along with me. Next class I'll be in my own workshop. Okay, so I can basically show that motorized. There I can show that I'm using two NRVs.
Yes, sir.
You require 2 NRVs. Okay, good. So again, I come back to the important factor that we need to get rainfall, a lot of rainfall. That's very important. Okay, I keep this setup aside and then move on to the next experiment, which so anybody who have heard about Newton's color disk by any chance?
What, sir? So what?
Newton's color disk.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
have heard, sir.
It's in our
So
textbook. Like,
yeah. So what is
many.
Newton's color disk?
May I?
Yeah, please tell.
Yeah, like if the rainbow color pen, it probably changes to the white color.
Okay, very good. So, so it's important that when we do these things, we also see how we can basically experiment it out. Okay, very important that like we all experiment because science is all about experimenting. Okay, if we don't experiment, so then that means we are not like actually learning science. So it's important that like we all try to experiment these things. So I have a simple see Newton color disk is something again which was created by Newton. Okay, so how did Newton get that idea? Can anybody tell me how Newton got that idea?
Sir, can I tell, sir?
Yes, Suryapada, tell.
Yes, sir. So actually, sir, there is no confirmation, sir, but I have heard one hypothesis, sir, like how we knew about it. So, sir,
Hmm.
he was just like gravity, sir. He was just
Hmm.
sitting in his garden when he saw an rainbow occur. So,
Hmm.
sir, there was a concept that time that
Hmm.
the light is made of like different colors. It's not only completely white. It is
Hmm.
every color has its own light.
Hmm.
So, sir, there was that concept at that time. So he
Hmm.
thought that if every color has its different light, then how can
Hmm.
that rainbow is like made of several different lights and it is
Hmm.
like completely bending. It's not a
Okay.
straight line. So he made those 7 colors on a disc, so neutral color disc, and then he spin it so that we
Hmm.
then see the white color. So that way he
Okay.
got the idea. So
Yeah, good. So you're pretty much correct. Okay. But first, most important thing, when do we get the rainbow?
sir, when there is rain
When
and when there is sunlight.
rain and sunlight mixing together.
Okay, when rain and sunlight is coming together, we basically get rainbow. But can anybody tell me like how many rainbows would appear in the sky? How many rainbows?
Only one.
Yes, sir, only one.
Sir,
Okay.
sometimes there are two also.
Sorry.
Sometimes, very rare sets there are two also.
Okay, sometimes there are two also. Okay, then. Okay, children. So actually, to be the correct thing is that so when the rainbow happens in the sky, there would be millions and millions of rainbows. But what happens is that we will be seeing only one because see rainbow is nothing but light, right? Okay, you know that light travels in a straight line. So from the place where we are seeing and the angle where we are looking at, so we would be able to see only one rainbow. Okay, but the person maybe suppose two of us are standing next to each other and looking at the rainbow, I would be looking at a different rainbow and like you would be looking at a different rainbow, but we all will be seeing one, but they are all different. Okay, because why that happens is that because we know that when the sunlight goes through the water droplet, it basically forms a rainbow. Okay, but in the atmosphere after the rain, there's like millions of water droplet. Okay, so and you know the sun rays sun rays can travel in all directions. So what happens? These million water droplets, they create millions of rainbows. Okay, but because of from the place where I'm seeing, I'm able to see one just because the light ray travels in the straight line. Okay, the person standing next to me would be looking at a different rainbow because for him it is the different light ray that he or she is receiving.
Sir,
Okay,
sir, but
yeah.
how come
So
the rainbow comes bended, sir? How comes the rainbow is bent?
sorry.
Sir, why is the rainbow bended, sir? Why is not straight line?
No, it's purely because of the shape of the water droplet. You know that the water droplet is like this, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So because the water droplet is like this, it basically gives that bent shape. Okay. If you create an rainbow using a prism and all, basically they use a prism as well to create rainbow. Those rainbows are straight, not
Yes,
bent.
sir.
Only in the atmosphere it looks bent because it's also the shape of the water drop. Okay, because it's round in shape. Anything round in shape will create an image beyond it, like in its own shape.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so that's the idea behind the. Okay, so now what Newton did was Newton saw that array light ray sunlight is just one, which we know, but when it goes passes through this water droplet, we are seeing so many colors. So that means the sunlight is having so many colors in it. Okay, that's what got proved. So what Newton did was he created a color disk where it has all the rainbow colors, and he started spinning it very fast. So when he did that, he could actually see in white color. Okay, so when all colors got mixed up, he basically saw in white color. Okay, so what I'm doing with the okay, I'll just show you. I'll not bend the camera, but I'll show you. Okay, I just taken a color disk. Okay, so which you can also print it by yourself, and then I have attached a motor to it. Okay, just a simple motor, because for Newton what he did was he used a pulley system. He used a pulley system like we have the chain gear and chain in the cycle. He used something like that, and he started spinning it to make the color disk spin fast. But here we, just because we have this advantage of using the motor, so we are trying to use it. Okay, I've connected by inserted batteries to the cell holder, and I have some two wires which I'm going to just connect it. I can also connect it through a switch, but I just want to see if the battery is working fine and I'm able to spin it. If I'm able to spin it, I'm just testing it. Okay, this doesn't work, so I think I'll spoil the battery. This is a pretty old battery that was in my bag. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sorry, this is not spinning today. Oh, I have some more batteries, but not right now with me. Okay. Okay. So basically what happens is that when this guy spins, okay, when this guy spins, what happens is that you'll start seeing like white color. Okay. I'm trying to spin it with hand, but I can't spin it that fast. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So maybe like this also I'll try to show it in your next class, but please join like every Sunday at 10:30. I'll be showing you some experiments. Okay. So today the idea was I thought I can like correlate water. Okay. Everything related to water. Okay. This is actually some way related to light, but like somewhat related to rain as well. So I thought like I can have this as well in this class. Okay. So now we have some time to run some 5 minutes. You guys can start asking questions. In case you have any questions related to like what we spoke today, and suppose you want to see some experiments like which you guys are interested in, like you want me to do it in the next
Oh,
classes. Yeah,
sir, sir,
yeah,
I, sir, I want to ask a doubt as well. I want to ask that can you do experiment next class? Sir, can
yeah.
you show the next class like how to make a rainbow from a prism?
Okay, I
Please.
can do that. Yes, I can
Yes,
do that.
sir.
So
And
I
the
can show you
doubt
how
was,
to.
sir, as
Yeah,
per we know, water droplets are transparent. They don't have any color. And
yeah.
as per we see, the sunlight is yellow, sir. So when they mix, how do they create such various colors, sir?
No, no. Actually, those various colors basically comes from the sunlight itself. Okay, that comes from the sunlight because the sunlight is there. Na? The sunlight has 7 colors hidden inside the sunlight. Okay, so when they pass through a medium like a water droplet or a glass or something, so then that gets distributed and like you start seeing 7 colors. All these 7 colors are there inside the sunlight.
Yes, sir.
So why do we see only one color like yellow?
I'll tell you exactly. You asked the right question. Who asked this question?
Sia correct.
Sorry,
Sia
Sia, is it?
correct. Yeah.
Okay. Sia, for example, this is yellow color, right? Okay, so what happens is, children, like yellow color, and you see on my I have a like what a blue color tag, and then I also have an I'm wearing an what black color shirt. Okay, and I have a mask. I have a mask which is again blue in color. Okay, so what's happening here is when the sunlight falls on this, whenever we think of sunlight, we should think of seven colors. Okay, when the sunlight falls on this, what happens? There's some kind of synthetic or kind of chemical on this. What it will do is it will absorb all the other colors and just reflect back yellow color. That's the reason we see yellow. Okay, suppose we this is blue in color, so the chemical or the synthetic or the chemical that is used to make this blue color, what that chemical does is that it absorbs all the other six colors and just reflects back one color. Okay, so anywhere we see colorful, okay, we should always see that the seven colors that is falling on it, so that object is absorbing all the other colors and just reflecting back the particular color which we are seeing. Okay,
Yeah.
but black and white, it is very tricky. As for black and white, it's very tricky just because black color will see when the sunlight falls and this absorbs the chemical that is there that absorbs all the colors. It doesn't reflect back any color. That's when we see black. Okay, so that's why on this during the summer days we tell that please we generally don't wear black color during the summer, because then your body will become very hot. We use white colors. White, because in white color what happens, you see all my background is white. So when the
Yeah.
light falls on it, all the colors are reflected back. When the
Yeah.
sunlight falls on the surface and all the colors get reflected back and we see it to be white.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the difference between white and black. Black absorbs all the color, white reflects back all the colors. Then the other colors are like yellow, blue, green, whatever. What they do is out of seven colors, they absorb six colors and just reflect back one color, which we see.
Yes.
Okay,
I have
so
a
this
doubt.
research,
Uh,
this was basically discovered by C.V. Raman. Okay, C.V. Raman was the person who discovered that this phenomenon happens in the nature, and that's the reason the world is colorful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sir,
Okay.
can I ask you, sir?
Yes, Surya Pratap.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I
That
have a
stand you made, sir, for that our pump, sir. That
Yeah.
stand has already made holes in that, sir. So that is made of cardboard or wood, sir. That stand.
Oh, this stand I made it of like this stick is wood and this top part is cardboard basically. So,
Okay.
so for me,
And
what I do
that,
is whenever yeah. So though that is not a necessary part, but what I do is I keep it so that it becomes easy for me to just place
sir,
it
I
on
have
the
a doubt.
table.
Excuse me,
Yes.
sir, I have one doubt. Sir, like some t-shirts, like some brands t-shirts, they sell like rainbow colored shirts, like different colors,
Okay.
mixed colors. So the
Okay. Yeah.
process is same, right,
No,
sir?
no. See, what happens is not the process same, because what they would have done is, so you might have mixed colors. So they would be using different thread. Okay. We should all understand that the cloth comes from thread. Okay. So therefore, different layers, because suppose you have different strips. For different strips, they would have used different thread.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So and the
So
threads are the
according
ones
to
that is
that,
dyed
it
or the
works,
put in
right?
synthetic. Yeah.
I have a doubt.
Yeah. Please ask. Please ask. You can ask any number of doubts.
In morning, we see
Yeah.
the sun. There is orange, and this his aura is red. Why is it, sir?
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. You asked the right question. Okay, what happens is that we have the earth, okay, uh, because of gravity, all the gases are basically close to the earth, okay. So what happens around the earth, we basically have a lot of gases. In the morning, what happens, the sunlight has to pass through all these gases to reach us. So the sun is of the same color, but because it is passing through all these gases, we basically the sun appears to be in a different color, so mostly orange. So you could have noticed that in the morning and the evening only you have like this orange color, just because the sunlight passes through this gases like before it reaches us or before we see it. As you know, as the sun goes down and down in the 12 o'clock in the afternoon, will you be able to look at the sun with bare eyes?
No, sir.
No,
No,
right?
sir. Sir, we will be able to
But in
look
the
at it
evening, but sometimes in the evening and in the morning, you'll be able to look at the sun with bare eyes, because what happens as the sunlight passes through this gas, what happens? Its intensity reduces. Because intensity reduces, we are able to easily able to see the sun with our bare eyes. So that the gas that is there between sun and us, okay, is the one that is making it like look orange in color. Okay. So any more questions, children?
sir. So, sir,
No, sir.
sir, that why is the sky different color, sir? So that is because of the gases, sir, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. That's because of the gases. You're absolutely correct.
Sir,
Hmm.
can we find the end of a rainbow?
That would be very difficult, because what happens is the end of the rainbow generally it faints, right? So then that would be difficult. See, leave the end of the rainbow is one thing, but generally I have seen rainbow. Suppose this is the sun, I have seen the rainbow around the sun like this circle. That means the rainbow doesn't have an end.
There is a myth
Rainbow
that
basically,
is
the
if
rainbow
rainbow
basically
ending.
forms a circular. It's basically a circle. So if it is circle, there is no end for it.
Yeah.
Sir, there is a myth that is in rainbow, in his end, there is treasure.
Sorry, what are you telling?
There is a
Sir, they
myth.
say that it's a myth actually. It's not true. At the end of the rainbow, there is a big treasure.
Uh, so then
It's a myth, sir.
that treasure will never ever be able to find out, because scientifically the rainbow is round circle.
So
Sir, and
we
sir,
should
the
just
sir,
find the
in
end
the
and
direction of
we never get the treasure.
that end of sir, and whenever we go in the direction of the end of the rainbow, sir, we won't be
Uh,
able to find the end, sir, because the more we get it closer to it, the further it seems, sir.
yeah, yes.
Sir,
Because more
even
you keep
if we
moving towards
cross
it,
a
it
bit
will be
of the rainbow,
moving further. Yes.
sir, even if we cross a bit of the rainbow, the
Uh,
rainbow will disappear in few minutes also.
Right,
Yeah.
right, of course. Because what happens is, children, once the sunlight comes out, it basically heats up the atmosphere, and all this water droplets that is there in the atmosphere, they just evaporate. Okay, then the rainbow disappears.
Only for few seconds hardly,
Yeah,
or
exactly,
only
exactly.
1 minute.
Right, right. Yeah, because what happens is that once the sunlight comes, so it basically heats up the atmosphere, and all this water droplet that is there in the air, they basically like what they just evaporate, and there is no sunlight. Then there is no rainbow. Okay. Good, children. So I'm happy that you are asking so many questions. I love when children ask me questions. So because asking question is what brings out a lot of information. So I understand like what you guys want, and like I can speak the relevant thing that you guys need it. Okay. So else what would happen? I would be speaking something, and like you might, that might not be your need. Okay. So even if it is the simplest of the simple question, I would love, I would be very happy to happy in case you ask those questions. Okay. So that's what would make,
Ah,
yeah.
sir, and the PrayogPeti I brought, it says like if you give the experiments of physics, chemistry, and biology. Sir, in these three, what is comes under this rainbow study? What it comes under? Does it come under chemistry,
No,
physics,
no, rainbow
or
comes under
biology?
physics only. Physics, it's physics.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next week
Sir, what,
we'll be doing something related to chemistry.
Okay,
sir,
sir.
so, sir, as you said, sir, this Sunday's topic was related to rain. So we learned about the hand pump and
Yeah.
the rainbow, because it is it is because the prism here is the rain droplets. So what will
Yeah.
be the next sentence, sir?
Sorry, next Sunday is it? So next Sunday, I'm still thinking. One thing is somebody asked me if I can create a rainbow using the prism. So I'll be
Yes,
trying to
sir.
do
I
that.
asked it.
Okay.
I asked
See,
it.
that's one thing. And the second thing is I'll be doing with respect to testing the water. So we can have like some methods by which we'll be able to test the water to see whether it is like good for drinking or not good for drinking. Okay, we'll be do something again, continue do something with related to water. Okay, so yeah, next week would be like something related to the quality of water. Okay, so we can bring in little bit of chemistry there.
What will be the So sir, the test will be based on like light, na sir? We will reflect the light and something like that.
Sorry, Surya, what are you asking?
Sir, that test, sir, you said that we can test whether or not the water is safe for drinking. Right,
Yes,
sir?
yes, exactly.
So sir,
So
in that test
there
it
are
was
some
right,
methods,
sir.
there are some methods by which we can do it. Okay, I'll be basically showing you those methods.
So sir, there are multiple, sir, or will you show just that light one? Because I have read that we can, by using some kind of light, we can detect that whether it is safe for drinking or not, sir.
Okay, see, light is something we can certainly use, but that is a very high level research or an experiment. But what we can do at home is what like I'm going to show you guys. Okay, because every time we'll not light, not exactly using light, because even if you use light, what happens on the other side, you require a sensor, very high, costly or a very accurate sensor to basically detect that change in light. Okay, then we can tell that. Okay, but that is not like everybody at home will be able to do that. Okay, so I'll be showing you something which we can do it at home.
Sir, and sir, once I heard, sir, that water is a conductor and is also not a conductor. So, like when there are impurities in it, it is a conductor, and when it
We'll
is
we'll
not,
do
it is not. Like
Surya will do this in the next class. Next class I'll show you those experiments as well. Okay, next class that's what we'll be doing. Okay, so related to testing the quality of water, and then we'll see which water is what water is conductive, what
Sir,
is non-conductive. We'll be doing all these
sir,
things in the next class. Yeah.
there is a kit if we get free or we want to pay it.
Oh, actually, this PrayogPeti, I think you need to pay for it, and you'll receive a kit, and that kit would have all the experiments that you require. There are close to about like 150 experiments which you would require for your entire curriculum. See, that's what do you say? Suppose you're in sixth grade. Okay, so you get all the activities that is required for the sixth standard. You get all the material using which you can do those experiments. So this will have thermometer, it will have like flask, it will have some litmus paper, it will have batteries, motors, all those things you would require to do experiments for your entire grade, entire curriculum. Okay, fine, children. So next class it would be related to water. So we'll be like playing around with water to understand the water better. Okay. So see you all in the next class. Okay, join back. See you guys. Bye bye.
okay, thanks, sir. Nice
Thank you,
session, sir.
Surya. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Bye,
Veer,
sir.
thank you. Sia,
Nice.
thank you.
Yeah,